Bonjour, this is Fabulously Delicious, the French food podcast. This is the podcast that's all about the cuisine that is said to have founded modern cooking. French ingredients and dishes have been the starting block for many of the world's best chefs and cooks. And on Fabulously Delicious, you'll learn all about those dishes and ingredients, as well as get to know more about fabulous French foodies. I'm your host, Andrew Pryor. Enchanté.
Enchanté.
My life changed when I competed on MasterChef Australia, and now I'm living my best life right here in the French countryside. Cooking, eating, meeting wonderful locals, food producers, chefs and home cooks, drinking amazing wines, eating somebody over. Would you believe there's more than 1,500 French cheeses? I'm trying to eat them all for you. Well, I'm sort of trying. It's a lot of cheese. And of course, I'm trying to share these experiences with you, my fabulously delicious audience. So I hope you're enjoying them. Today, we are talking about the cuisine from a specific region of France. From velvety sauces that have simmered for hours to spicy golden mustards that ignite the senses. The cuisine we're delving into today has a rich and complex history, as does the wines that accompany it. These dishes are the culmination of centuries-old techniques, regional ingredients, and a devotion to flavour that has shaped a legacy. We'll uncover the origins of beloved classics and celebrate the ingredients that have turned this area into a culinary landmark. So get ready to dive into a world where every bite tells a story of tradition, taste, and of course, timeless French gastronomy. Sit back, turn the volume up. If you're not driving, pour yourself a glass of wine, break a baguette, add a bit of saucisson maybe, some of that delicious cheese that I've mentioned if you're lucky enough to get some French cheese. And enjoy today's episode of Fabulously Delicious, the cuisine from Dijon. Welcome to Dijon, where the streets are filled with the aromas of timeless recipes. The cellars brim with world-class wines, and every dish tells the story of century-old culinary tradition. Some say Dijon, not Lyon, deserves the title of France's gastronomic capital. And we're here to explore why. What exactly is Dijon cuisine? And which iconic dishes and ingredients make it so legendary? Let's take a delicious journey through the history, culture, and flavours of this famous city and region. The roots of Dijon's cuisine trace back to the grandeur of the Burgundy state. During the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, the powerful court of Burgundy hosted lavish parties and banquets and dazzled guests. The Duke of Burgundy's palace in Dijon housed an extensive kitchen staff, including bakers, sauciers, fishmongers, and even gardeners that cultivated fresh produce specifically just for the palace. Imagine over 50 kitchen staff, each a specialist working in harmony in a vast kitchen. The air filled with the scent of roasting meat and delectable notes of herbs and sauces. Every role, from the hostier in charge of roasts to the fish preparers and the sauciers, played a crucial part in bringing the court's extravagant feast to life. Dijon's love for food even seeps into its architecture. Wander through the city's historic mansions, including the Duke's Palace and the nearby buildings, and you'll find facades adorned with intricate carvings of fruits and vegetables and game, like a stone recipe book left for future generations. A prime example of this is the Les Halles Centrales de Dijon, a covered market that was built in the 19th century that bears witness to the city's devotion to gastronomy. Here you can sense the excitement of centuries past, where the finest local ingredients were displayed under the ornate metal framework, a blend of beauty and practicality. Of course, no exploration of Dijon is complete without a mention of its most famous export, the Dijon mustard. This condiment, celebrated for its bold, tangy flavour, gained popularity with the Dukes of Burgundy, who embraced it, making it a courtly favourite. To this day, Edmond Fallot, unborn, is a beloved artisanal producer, still making mustard using only regional mustard seeds. a fact that actually saved them from the shortages France experienced due to the start of the war in the Ukraine, which limited mustard seed imports. Dijon mustard isn't just a spread, it's an emblem of Burgundy taste, a reminder historical court's sophisticated palate. A family run mustard mill that's been crafting mustard since 1840, the Fallot family's commitment to using traditional grinding methods like stone mills gives their mustard a unique texture and flavour that modern methods simply can't replicate. Visitors can tour the factory, learn about the mustard making process, and sample a variety of flavours from classic Dijon to the more adventurous varieties like tarragon or black currant mustard. In fact, I took a tour to Dijon and the city of Bourne and visited the Edmond Fallot mustard factory, and we got our chance to make our own mustard. It was delicious. If you're in the mood for something else, possibly a little bit sweet, maybe a little bit alcoholic, then you can look no further than the Crème de Cassis, a liqueur that has first appeared in Dijon in the 19th century. Black currants, the main ingredient, were initially planted near vineyards, adding a lovely touch to the scenery and a tasty addition to the area's offerings. Crème de cassis is made by macerating black currants in alcohol with sugar and creating a rich flavored drink perfect for sipping or mixing into a kia, the famous cocktail from the area. Just one sip offers a glimpse into the tradition and warmth of Burgundy. Dijon's pain d'épices, or spiced bread, often surprises newcomers who expect it to be like gingerbread. Whilst ginger is a part of the spice mix, the real star here is anise vert, a green anise, which gives the cake a distinctive flavour profile. Brought to Burgundy from Flanders by dukes, pain d'épices is made from honey, cinnamon, green anise, or anise vert, ginger, star anise, coriander seeds, and cloves. A visit to the Moulin de Dijon, which we have done in Bourne, where the pain d'épices has been crafted for over 200 years, feels like stepping into the past. This cake, once enjoyed by monks, pairs beautifully with foie gras or a spread of honey or orange marmalade. A true taste of Dijon's past is the pain d'épices. Perhaps the most iconic cheese from Dijon is the Epoise. This cow's milk cheese is soft and creamy, with a washed rind that owes its flavour to brandy from Burgundy called Marc. The story goes that Epoise was developed by monks who settled in the area and refined the recipe with help from local farmers. With its pungent aroma and smooth texture, Epoise is not a cheese for the faint-hearted, but a true indulgence for those who appreciate robust flavours. This cheese is a reflection of Burgundy's rich terroir and meticulous approach to crafting unforgettable flavours. Snails, or escargot, are a celebrated ingredient in Dijon. The region's snails go through a careful process before being served, and they're typically enjoyed with a luscious garlic parsley butter sauce. Though available all year round, escargots truly shine during the holiday season, with over 80% of sales happening at Christmas here in France. Some say the garlicky sauce is the real star in the show here, adding a savoury punch that complements the tender textures of the snails themselves. For many, escargots are more than a delicacy. They're a tradition that brings family and friends together. Burgundy is not only famous for its wine, but also for its prized Charolais cattle, originally from Charolles, but now a staple in Dijon and its surrounding regions. Known for their tender marbled meat, Charolais cows are an essential part of local culinary traditions, particularly in iconic dishes like bœuf bourguignon. The rich, earthy flavours of the meat reflect Burgundy's traditional, unique landscape, where pastures and vineyards meet. The Charolais beef represents the region's dedication to quality and craftsmanship in everything from wine to agriculture. And also they play an important part in providing milk for the Epoise cheese. Whilst most people associate truffles with areas like Provence, Dijon's truffles are equally delightful, known for their earthy aroma and distinct flavour. Their truffles appear in classic dishes across the region and sometimes in unexpected places, like ice cream, for an example. Yes, a truffle-infused ice cream. Dijon chefs aren't afraid to experiment, and the result is a sweet, aromatic treat that showcases the versatility of these covered fungi. Though Burgundy's fame often focuses on wine, Dijon and its surrounding areas also offer an array of fresh, flavorful vegetables, from Ruffy's asparagus to Nivernais carrots, Auxon onions, and other products like white beans, turnips, cabbages, lettuce, and leeks. The region provides a taste of the terroir in every bite. Fresh, local, grown vegetables lend their vibrant flavors to Dijon's cuisine, adding seasonal variety to classic dishes. Let's step inside the Halle de Dijon, the bustling heart of the city's food scene. This market, by Gustave Eiffel, is not only a visual marvel, but also a culinary treasure trove. With over 200 vendors, the market is a showcase of everything the region has to offer: ripe produce, fresh fish, aged cheeses, charcuterie, and baked goods. Visiting Laos is a multi-sensory experience. The colors, sounds, and scents create an atmosphere where food and community come together. Locals visit for the daily groceries, chefs for their restaurants' provisions, and tourists for a taste of an authentic Dijon. The Laos are especially lively during La Foire Gastronomic de Dijon, the city's annual food fair that's held each November. This month-long event, which began in 1921, celebrates Dijon's culinary heritage, bringing together the best chefs, producers, and artisans from the Burgundy and beyond. From tastings to cooking demonstrations, the fair showcases the diversity of local flavors, and each year a guest country is invited, adding an international touch to this Burgundy tradition. If you are heading to Dijon, the city, you should check out some of the wonderful foodie spots like May Grocery Store that was founded in 1747 and located in a wonderful old timber house in the city that was built in the 15th century. Burgundy's wine heritage is legendary, and Dijon sits on the doorstep of some of the world's most prized vineyards. The Route de Grand Cru, a wine route that runs south from Dijon through Burgundy's famed Côte de Nuit and Côte de Bon, it takes you past vineyards producing Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, two of France's most prestigious grape varieties. Are you part of the fabulously delicious Substack community? If you're not, you're missing out on a treasure trove of fabulous content about French food and life here in France. By signing up, you'll receive exclusive offers and insights tailored just for the Andrew Pryor Fabulously community. Don't wait any longer to join up the fun. Sign up now via a link in the show notes for this episode, or head over to andrewpryorfabulously.com. Let's dive into the delicious world of French food together. Planning a trip to Paris, or maybe you're one of those lucky ones that get to call Paris home. I've had the joy of living in Paris, and let's just say I've eaten my way through the city of lights, love, and good food for you. With all that delicious experience, I knew that I had to share it with you, my fabulously delicious audience, because I know that you love French food probably as much as I do, and probably Paris as well. So that's why I created my first book, Paris, Fabulous Food Guide to the World's Most Delicious City. In it, you'll find my top tips for the best boulangeries, cafes, chocolate shops, fromageries, patisseries, wine bars, and so much more. Whether you're planning a trip or you're already there and happen to be walking around, this guide is packed with the most up-to-date recommendations to help you eat and explore like a local. Get your copy at andrewpryorfabulously.com, where you can get a signed and gift package version, or you can get it on Amazon, and there's even a Kindle version for instant access. Paris, a fabulous food guide to the world's most delicious city. I hope you enjoy reading it and eating your way through Paris through it. Œufs en Mirette is a dish that's truly Dijonnaise. It features poached eggs served in a rich red wine sauce, made from Burgundy wine, of course, along with lardons, mushrooms, and pearl onions. The sauce is reduced and thickened, becoming a velvety bath for the eggs. Traditionally, it's served on a slice of toasted bread. And this dish is a comforting combination of textures and flavours that highlights the region's culinary philosophy. Take simple, quality ingredients and elevate them with expert technique. Œuf omelette is popular on brunch menus and it is even being featured in fine dining settings where chefs put their own spin on this classic. In fact, the classic version of the œuf omelette is actually the source from the bœuf bourguignon. You have the œufs as the entree and then the bœuf bourguignon as the main. Although coq au vin, some would say, is now a French national dish, its roots are deeply entwined with Dijon. Traditionally, the dish was made with older roosters, known for their tough meat, so they were braised in red wine, slowly, usually a robust Burgundy wine, until they're tender. The addition of lardons, mushrooms, garlic and pearl onions creates a symphony of flavours, with the wine leading a depth and richness that transforms humble ingredients into a feast. In fact, I quite am partial to a coq au vin myself, and it even won me Dish of the Day once on MasterChef back in 2013. But today, coq au vin has many regional variations, and the Burgundy version remains the most celebrated. And Dijon chefs continue to honour this dish's heritage by sticking to the classic methods or adding modern touches, such as using different wine varieties or refining the sauces to a glossy perfection. Another standout dish to Dijon is poulet Gaston Gerard, named after the mayor of Dijon, Gaston Gerard. Prepared by his wife, this dish combines tender chicken with white Burgundy wine, Dijon mustard, cream, and grated Comté cheese. It's the perfect example of Dijon's culinary style, rich, creamy, and full of character. The mustard provides a gentle heat, whilst the Comté cheese adds depth and creaminess. Poulet Gaston Gerard is a popular dish in French Dijon's bistros, where locals and tourists alike savour this comforting yet refined meal. Jambon Pusile is a classic dish that comes from Dijon. It's often enjoyed all year round, but didn't always used to be. The jambon pusile was usually something that was prepared and enjoyed at Easter. A marble jelly that has parsley in it surrounds a mixture of cooked ham pieces and parsley. The kir, as I mentioned before, is often associated with Dijon. It's a combination of white Burgundy wine, often with a crème de cassis from the area. This drink is enjoyed at apéro here in France and is now known all over the world. Possibly more famous by the kir royale, which is the crème de cassis added with a sparkling French white wine. Whilst Burgundy may not be as famous for its sweets as Paris, Dijon has a thriving patisserie scene. Classic French patisseries are elevated with a regional twist, often incorporating flavours like classics of honey. Le Richelieu de Bourgogne is a popular honey used in Dijon's desserts, lending a floral, slightly earthy sweetness to patisseries and confections. If you have a sweet tooth and a love of good pastry, then you should try a nonette from Dijon. This was made originally by a Dijon grocer in the middle of the 19th century and is now enjoyed by many sweet tooths. It basically has a pain d'épices base with honey added to it and then covered in honey and sometimes even covered in chocolate. Yum. Chocolate actually has an important place in the history of Dijon and its cuisine. Henri Dutour was the pharmacist and chocolate maker of Marie Antoinette. His descendant was the master chocolatier Joseph Dutour, who had a chocolate shop in Dijon in 1835. This was sold to Henri Brulé in 1886, who emerged it with his chocolate factory and moved the store's location and called it Au Prince du Comte de Dutour. Sweet lovers will also love the cassis that was created in 1901 by Dutour. These are delicious blackcurrant chewy lollies that are surrounded by sugar and filled with a blackcurrant cream. In 1912, Auguste Lavant from Lavant Chocolates took over an established chocolate factory in Dijon. This chocolate factory still exists today under the name Chocolatier de Bourgogne. And then there are the Jacquelines of Dijon, which are little meringue icing covered sweet treats. Their colour is an indication of what's inside, with pink meaning that there's a praline inside, Yellow has nougatine inside, and purple has a black currant paste. These treats date back to as far as 1382, when they were given to church parishioners by the Duke of Burgundy at the time of Philip le Hardy. Dijon's dining scene offers everything from cozy bistros to Michelin-starred restaurants. Tradition and innovation coexist, and chefs are constantly exploring new ways to interpret Burgundy flavours. L'Oiseau du Duc, with its Michelin star, serves dishes inspired by regional classics, but elevate with modern techniques. You'll find artfully plated dishes that celebrate the ingredients and methods that make Dijon's cuisine so beloved. Bistros like Chez Lyon and Bistro Léal keep things more traditional, offering hearty servings of coq au vin, escargot, and œuf au mourinette in rustic, warm settings. These eateries are popular with locals, and their menus change with the seasons to showcase the freshest produce and meats from nearby farms and markets. Dijon's cuisine is a celebration of history, tradition, and innovation. Each dish tells a story that spans centuries. Whether you're savouring the spicy kick of Dijon mustard, the richness of the coq au vin, or the delicate sweetness of the crème de cassis, every bite connects you with a legacy of craftsmanship and passion. Dijon is a city that's as rich in flavours as it is in history, a true gem in the heart of Burgundy. There's an old saying from the Burgundy region that captures Dijon's culinary pride. À Dijon, le savant en une âme. In Dijon, flavours have a soul. Dreaming of cooking in the charming town of Montmorillon? Well, now you can make that dream a reality with my fabulous Vienne residencies. From May to October, I invite you to come and experience a delightful stay that includes accommodation, warm welcome apéro, and an all-day cooking class with me, filled with culinary magic. But that's not all. There's also a day trip and a range of exciting extras, ensuring that your time in the beautiful French countryside is, well, nothing short of perfect. Come, join us for an unforgettable journey of flavours and friendship. For more details, visit andrewpryorfabulously.com. I can't wait to cook with you. Fabulously Delicious is part of the Evergreen Podcast Network. Join us as we explore the delicious world of French cuisine and culture alongside a fantastic lineup of podcasts. Stay tuned for more fabulous content and delightful conversations. That's it for another episode of Season 4 of Fabulously Delicious. Have you heard of any of the things mentioned in this episode before? What's the most fabulous thing that you've learned from today's episode? Let me know by contacting me via Instagram, slide into my DMs at Andrew Pryor Fabulously, or you can email me on contact@andrewpryorfabulously.com. I'd love to chat with you all. We could just have a chat about food from Dijon if you like. I love talking to people about food, and especially French food. Thank you for listening, and remember, you know what my motto is. Whatever you do it fabulously. Merci beaucoup, and bon app!